So we have a sense in our readings of a very old tradition of the people of God, even though they are the people of God, even though they've seen God's great works, even though He liberated them from their slavery in Egypt, the people of God from generation to generation to generation continue to turn their backs on God. They continue to harden their hearts. We see this in our first reading, and we see it in the psalm response to that. We're going way back in time. There's that sense of they're not going to listen to you. And so Moses faced this. This is all about the desert time, Meribah and Massah, when they're in that wandering time that they gave up. They were feeling that God has abandoned them. You know, they're just going to turn their backs and go after their own ways. And then in Jeremiah's time, which is just before the big fall where they get into exile, Jeremiah is warning them, you're turning your back, or God's warning Jeremiah, I should say, they're not going to listen to you. They've always been like this. They don't listen to me. And then in Jesus' time, it's the same thing, isn't it? Where he's there with the folks, and he's just done this wonderful thing of healing a man who could not speak. The demon has gone out. He can speak now. All were amazed, but then some said, it's by the devil he does this, the devil who divides us all, and he's part of the devil thing. They just won't pay attention. They won't believe. They won't soften their hearts. They're hardened. It's been a hard life for them, I'm sure. It's a hard life for all these people in those days. Life is hard. And when life is hard, it has a way of wearing us down. And that's true in our time too. We have it easy with regard to material things. We have heat on a cold day. We have light at nighttime. It's really amazing, right? It's miraculous almost, the amazing technological advances we live with in our time. A disease comes up and spreads throughout the whole world, a virus. Normally, almost all the human race would be wiped out. But now we have things called vaccines. So, truly remarkable. But having said all that, our life is still hard. Mentally, spiritually, our life is hard. There's a lot of meaninglessness for people. They experience it. We experience, maybe you do at times. If you've ever had depression, I've had depression. I still would have depression if I didn't have medicine. Because it's hard to live in this world in this time. As blessed as we are by a lot of material things and technological advances, life is hard. And the temptation is to harden our hearts. The temptation is to not believe. And there's a lot of folks out there who have given in to that temptation in our own world. And of course, they need our prayer, and they have our prayers. But for you and for me, this continues to be something we need to be vigilant about. The vulnerable heart, the heart that is soft, the heart that it seems like it's going to break, but it won't. The ones that break are the hardened hearts. They crack. The softened heart manages to live with pain occasionally and hurt. So let's pray for that grace today to know that image for ourselves, that you and I live a life that may be hard at times, but you and I are also people of faith, and we turn again and again, not our backs, but our faces toward God.